Yep, that'd be cool. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, yep, it's popped up here. Yep. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yep, that sounds great. Awesome. Thank you very much, mate. Okay, catch you. Bye bye. Good afternoon and welcome to St Bernard's College for this round 3 fixture between St Bernard's College and St Patrick's College Silverstream. Both teams undefeated, 2 victories so far, equal 10 points. But this will be the ultimate test. St Bernard's often seen as the poor cousins to Silverstream, but today they have an opportunity to cause a great upset. St Bernard's last bet, St Pat's Silverstream, back in 2012 up at the hollow ground of Silverstream, winning 28-26. But today they look like a very impressive outfit of a good forward pack led by captain John O'Little and the star fullback, star number 8, Jacob Laban. Our referee for today's round 3 Transit Wellington First 15 Premiership match is Thomas Roach. Thomas Roach, he also has a rather interesting comparison to Spock from Star Trek. Silverstream scored an upset win over St Pat's Town, getting a controversial penalty try to win the match as Silverstream get the line out at 30-18. Robert Rossiter-Stead actually got the ball there. He's actually on the bench at the start of the match, but obviously has been a late withdrawal. There's the first penalty of the match as St Bernard's have been penalised for side entry. And so the first relieving penalty for Silverstream. TJ Clark in the 10 jersey for Silverstream today. TJ Clark mainly plays halfback. Luke Wormsley, mainly the first 5, is out injured for this fixture today. Conditions in the capital city today, it's a high of 10 degrees. It's been blustery, southerly winds. There was some heavy rain this morning, but it's cleared just in time to bring you this coverage of this important match. Regan Manlin throws into the line out. Ball goes to Rossiter-Stead again. Silverstream look to get the ball going, but they have been infringed there at their own ball. Appears to be possibly obstruction, accidental obstruction. So therefore, the first scrum of this fixture on the 15 metre mark, right on halfway at the Western Hills end of St Bernard's College. Silverstream will be defending the scrum. Earlier today, the under-15 St Bernard's team beat the St Pat's Town under-15s 36-32. It's considered an upset. St Bernard's last year were in Premier 1, didn't win a single game. This season they've won 2 under the leadership of coaches Kent Harris and Hayden Moritz, both teachers at the staff here, as the ball comes out to Callum Coyne. Callum Coyne, the brightest boy in Year 11 last year, NCAA Excellence Level 1. Inserting some intelligence to the back line for St Bernard's. Good passes of play here as Rangafetu gives it out to Nonu Tuia. Tuia met hard of the tackle of Solomona. Rangafetu out to Horgan Rogers. His favourite subject is mathematics. As he marches over the halfway line, this defence from Silverstream has been really impressive. Rangafetu out to Horgan Holmes Rogers. And Eastham has been held up and a good tackle but brought to ground. So the defence holding. But it's a loose pass, it's come loose. So Paul Pio with the knock on there. And Silverstream have an opportunity to penalise the mistake from St Bernard's. Clark with a angling top pass over the top to his fellow winger, Laban Liamasia. But there's a penalty against St Bernard's. Roach finding the infringement there of side entry yet again at the breakdown. Thomas Roach last week made his premier debut as a referee in club rugby in Wellington. Unfortunately, it was not a close game. It was 32 points to 14, Marist St Pat's over Avalon. At least Avalon turned up for the match. Silverstream with a perfect opportunity inside St. Bernard's 22. Ball throws. It's not straight. Not the straightest pass you'll see on this day, and just when the wind stopped blowing. And so St. Bernard's will have a scrum, 5 metres inside their own 22. St. Bernard's in their first 2 games they played Tawa and Mana College. Because at Tawa College they bet out there 55 points to 27, and Mana 33 points to 18 at home last week. And a penalty in a game dominated by the referee's whistle. It was a stop-start affair. But St. Bernard's managed to take home the spoils. It's a busy schedule for St. Bernard's over the next few weeks. As well as this game on Wednesday, they play Hatupolda. That also will be broadcast live on Sideline app and also Huddy Sports, working in partnership to bring you some first 15 games around the region. Our first venture together was 2 weeks ago, the St. Pat's Town and the St. Pat's Silverstream traditional. The scrum reset with Tanga Rangawhetu looking to feed the ball in to the scrum. Rangawhetu, year 13 at the college. He's been in the Wellington under-16 rugby program over the last few years. It's a strong scrum by Silverstream, but Berners managed to get it out. Rangawhetu with the clearing box kick down the field has been met well by Kobe Joe Vulu, played fullback today. Here's the ball to Riley Higgins. He's the danger man. Higgins brushes off one. He finds a gap in the back line. Lashakan Lolo at fullback. Charges down the sideline, but he's been bundled into touch by Vulu. So there you're seeing the danger. The danger of Riley Higgins, playing 13 for Silverstream today. Last week against Wellington College on their traditional Wednesday, he scored 2 impressive tries. One was almost 50 metres, one was nearly the length of the field. Silverstream lineouts. Mellon throws, but it's been well interrupted by TK Waiona, the F13 from St. Bernard's College. But the back by Silverstream. Traditional last week for a tip tackle, and so he's been suspended for 2 games. Peter Malakai. Harry Wrigley playing halfback today due to the injury to Luke Wormsley at first 5. But Silverstream penalised for crawling forward at the breakdown. That has been one area the referees have been heavily involved in and penalising. As Rangawhetu kicks the ball into touch. And Jacob ball somehow. Of course, last year when these two played each other, it was not a pretty affair. It was 59 points to 6 to Silverstream. Played at Silverstream. Paul Pio throws. Warren manages to tip it back. Oh, there was possible infringement there by Silverstream. Ross was instead pushing away, but referee Roach is very happy with that decision. And so it'll be a scrum to Silverstream. 10 metres outside St. Bernard's 22 on the college touchline here. We are standing on scaffolding calling this game today. I don't think it would pass OSH standards, but not many things do at St. Bernard's. Silverstream scrum. Harry Wrigley to throw the ball in. His first year in the first 15. He's also represented Wellington at under 13 level. Referee Roach not happy with the stabilised nature of the scrums at the moment. In the front row for both teams, William Easton, Paul Pierre at hooker, and Nonu Tuia on the other side of the scrum. And for Silverstream, it's Sunil Sinelli, Regan Mellon, and Braden Hararura. Good scrum by St. Bernard's, but Silverstream managed to give it out. Clark gives it out to Higgins. He brushes off And he gets through the gap. This is a perfect strike weapon for Silverstream. Have they scored? Referee Roach wants to check with his assistant referee on the far side. But if it is a try, it is a fantastic set piece move by Silverstream. Under pressure for scrum, they managed to get it out. But Riley Higgins yet again, instrumental there, managed to get round the defenders of St Bernard's. Referees in deep discussion here, and the try has been awarded. 5 points to 0. Silverstream ahead of St Bernard's here at St Bernard's College. Let's look at the full lineups for today. St Bernard's College at 15 is Lasha Khan Lolo. The wings are Callum Coyne and Seta Malakai. The midfield is Kelly Tangawai Scott and Palanato Ane. 10 is Jorgen Home Rogers. 9 is Tanga Ringafetu. 8 is Jacob Laban. 7 is John O'Little. 6 is Zach Tuita. The locks are Ben Waiwai and TK Waiona. And the front row, William Easton, Paul Pio, and Nonu Tuia. The reserves are Khalifa Lele Sal. 17, David Wheeler. 18, Cyrus Crook. 19, Sam Mahey. 20, Dom Ernest. 21, Pahi Mateo. And 22, Aleki Emanuele. For Silverstream, Kobe Joe Vulu. The wings, Campbell Dexter and Laban Lea Masia. Midfield is Junior Polu. And in front of the post, the score remains 5 points to 0. The flanks for Silverstream and Mitch Salvo and Sam Morgan. The locks, Emmanuel Solomona, Marco Vinta. In the front row, Cio Sinelli, Regan Mellon and Braden Harbour. The reserves, Toby Mellon, Jonah Bartley, Robert Roster-Stead, who is actually starting at the moment, Patrick Solomona, Estefan Masoi, Lockie Forbes and CJ Harbour, the brother of Braden Harbour. 5 points to 0. Silverstream ahead of St Bernard's. There's Rangafet who he kicks yet again deep into the 22 to TJ Clark. Clark with plenty of space. And he kicks it directly into touch, just short of halfway. And so this will be a St Bernard's line out. 5 metres inside Silverstream's half. There's a good turnout here of crowd today for St Bernard's and Silverstream supporters. And a lot of the St Bernard students have paid a visit to the canteen known as Jack's Bakery. So knock on there at the scrum, at the line out, and so this will be a St Bernard scrum. Still in the same position as where the line out was, on the 15 metre mark. It's a beautiful day in the capital city. Wasn't so flash this morning. But the weather has improved, so it has been a kind of chilly, southerly wind here today, which will make it rather chilly tonight for the main fixture at the stadium between the Hurricanes and the Chiefs at 7 o'clock. Chiefs still looking for that first win, 0-8 this season, where the Hurricanes are looking for the win to try and still keep their chances of winning Super Rugby Aotearoa alive. There's a good scrum by St Bernard's. There's Kelly Tangawai Scott in the 16 jersey. He's a bit big for the 13 jersey. TK Waiona goes through his work. So, there's good passage of play by St Bernard's. Just keeping it tight, keeping it patient. Rangafetu out to Ane. They cross the 10 metre mark. 15 metres in touch. And there's a good break here by John O'Little with the 7 jersey. John O'Little was captain of the New Zealand junior softball Black Sox team earlier in the season. Year 13 at college and his third year at the first 15. Rangafetu out to Rogers. Rogers, he managed to get around Larkai but chipped down earlier into the ground, so he's on the 22. Midfield. William Easton. Big man thrown to the ground. Rangafetu. Rangafetu, he darts through 1, he darts through 2, he's 5 metres short of the post. Miss a penalty against St Bernard's for holding on. Now it was a good darting run by Regafetu. Caught Silverstream sleeping, but unfortunately he wasn't quick enough to release the ball. But that was an exciting moment for the St. Bernard's faithful. Back underway. And looked to appear a forward pass. Forward pass from Junior. Starting midfield for Northern United. Last year won a Jubilee Cup. And Riley looks to be heading in the same direction. Messy scrum again. The platform unsteady. Kelly Tangawai Scott, year 11. Wearing the 16 jersey. So, played for Wellington against Rugby League for the Vikings. He's in his second year. He debuts in year 10 as Jacob Laban off the back of the scrum. Managed to gain a few metres. Appears to be a turnover. Silverstream, salvo of the ball, but he knocks it back. Still in control of the pill. St. Bernard's being a menace at the breakdown. Silverstream not happy, but referee Roach is still going ahead with play. Wrigley. And that's a big hit there by Zach Duita. He's known for his big hits in the classroom. Control. Clark. Made in a good tackle by Jacob Laban. Jacob Laban, of course, playing for the Junior Warriors. Debuted last season for the first 15. Last week made 22 tackles in the game against Mona College as a penalty against Silverstream here. The breakdown. Excellent defensive work by St. Bernard's. You just noticed that they lifted their game just for the last few minutes there. Some excellent defence and putting Silverstream under pressure. And so they have kicked for touch. And they'll have a line out 5 metres inside Silverstream's 22 on the hillside of St. Bernard's College number 1. Paul Pio with the ball. Paul Pio turned up to one trial, got on the team. And he gives the ball to Jacob Laban. Jacob Laban easy identifiable in this game with his peroxide blonde hair. So it looks like an Aaron Byrne has found his target as Easton moves forward. Good defence, but Silverstream win the penalty. Hand to the ruck is the call. Yet again, St. Bernard's guilty of ball protection as Clark ticks downfield. And he'll find touch pretty much on halfway. So an even penalty for Silverstream under that series of time we're under pressure. Silverstream have had a few players out from this game. Their number 6, Toby Crosby, was cited last week and he got a 2-match suspension. And Tony Solomona, who mainly plays in the midfield, he's out with an injury. Along with Luke Wormsley, and Luke Wormsley last year played for St. Pat's Town. They moved out to the promised land of Silverstream. Wrigley out to Larkai. Good tackle by Laban. Silverstream advance inside the half. 2 metres over the touch line. Sam Morgan in the 6th jersey today, playing very well indeed. Lakai out to Solomona. That's a good charge down the wing, but the ball has come loose. So Lea Masia was unable to hold the ball, but St. Bernard's got an advantage against them here. Silverstream still with the pool. They're about 6 metres out from St. Bernard's touch line, or try line. St. Bernard's defence holding. This is impressive charge by Silverstream as there is another advantage at the breakdown there. St. Bernard's need to be careful, particularly inside the 22. That's 10 points to 0. Silverstream over St. Bernard's. Now the F13 history class aren't happy with that. They'll have to write an essay about the causes and consequences of their second try. $10 points to 0. On their own try line. It's Lakai gets the ball from the kickoff. He tries to get round Tuia, but Tuia hangs on for dear life and drags him to the ground. Wrigley, high pass out to Marco Venter. As they Silverstream march out of their own 22. Venter manages to gain there. As a penalty against Silverstream. Holding on is the call. John O'Little John O'Little with the turnover win there. 5 metres out from Silverstream's try line. Excellent opportunity for St. Bernard's to strike. What will they do here? Will they go for the scrum or will they go for the line out? No, they're not going to go for either of them by the looks of it. They're going to tap and go. Kelly Tangawai Scott out to TK Waiona. Almost in front of the post. 4 metres away from the try line. Rangawhetu out to Paul Pio. Good tucking tackle there by Silverstream. They go over, they score! St. Bernard's have scored directly under the posts. 10 points to 5. Kelly Tangawai Scott getting the celebrations as he charges over the try line and scores the first try for St. Bernard's in this fixture. 10 points to 5, the conversion to come. Ten points to 5. About 25 minutes gone. Earlier this week, St. Pat's Town had a good victory over Wellington College in their traditional, the 135th traditional. Conversion is successful. Score now, 10 points to 7. Silverstream ahead of St. Bernard's. Other games on today in the Welltech Premiership. Wairapa College have beaten Aotea 31 points to 19. Rongotai are playing Scots College early in pre-season. That was only a 5 points to 3 win to Rongotai over Scots. And Mana are taking on Tawa College, and as mentioned earlier, St. Pat's Town played Wellington College in the 135th traditional on Wednesday, and they won that one 39 points to 19. Silverstream scrum. Wrigley to throw. It's a strong Silverstream scrum. Wrigley at the base. Gives it out to Clark. Clark offloads it to Higgins. Higgins gets round run. He's danger. He gives it out to his fellow winger, Dexter, and Dexter's out of the corner. 15 points to 7. Silverstream strike back, and crucial there was Riley Higgins. Yet again, he's been involved in all the tries so far, but he's certainly the danger man. If St. Bernard's can't shut him down, he's going to cause more pain and panic for the St. Bernard's supporters. TJ Clark with the conversion attempt. Three metres in from touch, just outside the 22. He's missed his first 2 conversion attempts from the far side of the touch field. It's wind has died down compared to what it was like at midday. The brisk southerly coming in from the Cook Strait. Clark kicks. Like the first 2, he is unsuccessful. The score remains 15 points to 7. Silverstream ahead of St. Bernard's. take there by Laban, who managed to get round Solomona. Good restart, good statistic back in his box. As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Laban last week made an astonishing 22 tackles in the game against Mana College. Rangawhetu out to Tuita. Tuita made in good tackles by the fellow locks. Rangawhetu out to TK Waiona. Centre field. Patience with the ball. Tuita. Met in the tackle by Higgins. Higgins holds him up. He has to bring him down as his knee touches the ground. Rangawhetu tidies up. Gives it out to Ben Waiwai. The 5 jersey for St Bernard's. Rangawhetu out to Waiona. Waiona heavily involved in this first half. A very good player. He's been attacking the line outs well. Rangawhetu out to John Alitu. John Alitu offloads it off to Nonu Tuia, but it has been knocked on. So just a bit of patience and structure was needed there from St Bernard's. And so it'll be a Silverstream scrum right on their own 22. Almost centre field. The medic on for Silverstream. Just having a look at Mitch Salvo. Mitch Salvo, his brother Josh, played for the first 15 for a few seasons. Josh himself didn't finish his, didn't play in his year 13 year. He did his ACL in his knee, so was out for the whole season. And he made a return to rugby last year, playing for Upper Hutt. This season, Josh is playing for Petone for their Premier side. He's been out lately though. He's suffered a head knock in one of their Premier games and had to be rested for 3 weeks as per the protocol, such as the issue on head safety in our game. Play back underway. Silverstream scrum on the 22. Scrums have been relatively unsettled in this game. Wrigley feeds. Good strong scrum by St Bernard's. They're managing to twist it around, but unfortunately they couldn't keep this their body straight, and so they've been penalised at the breakdown. Yeah, they had a very dominant position there, St Bernard's, at scrum time, but unfortunately they were guilty of twisting around too much and not keeping straight. And so Clark finds touch, pretty much 6 metres inside St Bernard's half. 2 metres out from the 10 metre mark on the Western Hills side. Back in 2012 when St Bernard's last won this fixture, played up at Silverstream, 28 points to 26. Coach that day was Mark Keating. Mark Keating has written a book on St Bernard's rugby. St Bernard's founded in 1946. Silverstream founded in 1931, and for a large part of the history between these two in rugby, 90s. Emmanuel Solomona with the ball. Wrigley reaches in, gives it out to Clark. Clark out to Venter, off to Lakai. Wrigley out to Clark. Clark fires back to his right side, gives off to Lakai. It's untidy ball, it's been pushed back, but Riley Higgins there is to tidy up. But Laban brings him down in a good tackle. And that's a good tackle indeed, because he's knocked the ball on Higgins. So Jacob Laban yet again, star player for St Bernard's, making a real impact there and enforcing the knock on by Higgins to give St Bernard's the scrum. 12 metres inside their own half. So broadcast and sideline app in partnership with Huddy Sports. St Bernard's versus St Pat's Silverstream. The Maris fathers against the Maris brothers. The younger cousin against the older cousin. St Bernard's, of course, have one All Black, John Dugan. John Dugan played 4 tests for the All Blacks. And of course, Silverstream's most recent All Black is Asafa Amua. It's a high pass out to Kelly Tangawai Scott, playing in the midfield today, wearing jersey 16. There's no other jerseys can fit him. Rangafetu out to Twitter. Laban met in a very good tackle, and he's been driven back 2 metres. Silverstream appeal for the turnover, and they may have it here. They do, but St. Bernard's been guilty, flying off their feet at the breakdown. So Silverstream elect to take it quickly. Salvo tries to get up a big hit there from number 3, Nonu Tui on Salvo. That was a good run by Salvo, caught St. Bernard's napping. Silverstream get to their work inside the 22. Braden Harua. Wrigley out to Lakai. It's another loose ball. Rather untidy by Silverstream. Wrigley looking for his options. Gives it out to Lakai. Lakai been heavily involved in this first half. Venter 2 metres out. 1 metre out. And penalised. Penalised for crawling. He had already been held. Had to release the ball immediately, but he decided to lunge forward and keep going. And so he's been guilty of infringing there. And so Silverstream will be pushed back just outside St. Bernard's 22. So it'll be a St. Bernard's line out. Time off has been called here as Thomas Roach is having a word to John O'Little. We'll be just telling him to calm down a bit. John O'Little is quite a fiery player. He likes to be high intensity and bring a bit of character to the game. Pio de Fro. Looks for Laban. Laban stretches, but the ball's loose. It's been knocked on, and so Silverstream gets the ball back. Mitch Salvo to tidy up. Wrigley out to Lakai. Lakai tries to get round Eastham. Eastham holds on like dear life and brings him to ground. Wrigley, high pass to Higgins. Higgins, there's a big gap here. Can he score? He will. Silverstream have scored their 4th. 20 points to 7. And Higgins again, heavily involved. Clark with the lofty pass over to Higgins, and Higgins sailed through the gap and extends Silverstream lead here in the first half. 20 points to 7. Conversion to come. Looks as though Clark's day is kicking the boots. Kicking the goals is over as Higgins is taking over the kicking duties. In pre-season, Silverstream played New Plymouth Boys and they lost 32-31. Riley Higgins helped Silverstream back into that game and could have won the game, but unfortunately the conversion missed. And so New Plymouth took home the spoils. And that was a game of 2 different sides really. Silverstream with their classy backs and New Plymouth with their strong forwards who really should have actually won the game by more. To speak about New Plymouth boys, they bet the highly fancied Palmerston North boys at the Gully midweek. The Gully, one of the most famous college rugby grounds in the country. It's like an amphitheatre, like a coliseum, with the terraces on both sides. One of the best sporting grounds in the country. As Higgins kicks, but unfortunately it is not successful, and so at half time the score is Silverstream 20, St. Bernard's 7. We'll be back in 5 minutes. 20 points to 7, St. Pat's Silverstream over St. Bernard's College. Round 3 action of the Transit First 15 competition. St. Bernard's second on the table, Silverstream fourth, both on 10 points each. It's been an impressive first half by Silverstream. A first half dominated by lots of errors, lots of knock-ons, and St. Bernard's will be disappointed in themselves for the fact their ball protection has been a bit loose at times. Where Silverstream, really every time they've got close to St. Bernard's 22, they have scored pretty much every time, and centre to those tries has been Riley Higgins in the 13 jersey, captain as well. So 20 points to 7. Second half about to get underway. The whistle of Thomas Roach's Spock gets us back underway. Higgins kicks into just outside the 22, and there's TK Waiona met there in the big tackle of Sam Morgan, who brought to touch. Rangawhetu out to Tuita. He manages to run into his own teammate there, Nonu Tuia. Bernards get numbers to the breakdown. They just need to look after the pill, be patient. Try not to do anything outrageous. Rangawhetu, box kicks. He's been bundled down by Mitch Salville. But Kobe Jovulu with the dancing feet. He gets round, he exploits a gap. He crosses the 10 metre mark. He gets close to the 22. Inside the 22. Little holds him up. He's been brought down. Wrigley out to Lakai. Lakai dragging Waiona down like a doll. Fenter made in a good tackle. And he's driven back 2 metres. Wrigley to Salville. Paul Pio there in defence. Wrigley out to Solomona. Ball looks like it's been knocked on. No, referee Roach is happy. Silverstream into the 22. Lakai charging forward. But St. Bernard's get the turnover. Rangawhetu gives out to Holmes Rogers. Holmes Rogers kicks downfield. And that's a good clearing kick under all sorts of pressure, Jorgen Holmes Rogers. And so Silverstream will have a line out. 10 metres out from Silverstream's 22 on the northern end of St. Bernard's College number 1. This game brought to you in partnership Huddy Sport and out to Lakai, who gives it to his fellow partner Venter. Clark out to Polu. Higgins again. Higgins floats it over. Kobe Jovulu can't get it. As the ball bundles into touch. So an opportunity there for Silverstream to strike, but unfortunately the pass from Higgins was too off target. And so it'll be a St. Bernard's line out on the commentary box side of St. Bernard's College number 1. Paul Pio, considered by his teammates to be the nicest guy at the college. Rangawhetu box kicks it over the top of Lea Masia. Vulu out to Higgins. Higgins brushes off 13. It is Anai Palinato Alai. Silverstream ball. Venter out to Rossiter-Stead. Rossiter-Stead supposed to be in the starting, well, supposed to be on the bench, but has started the game. And the ball's been knocked on by Silverstream. So just 2 errors there around the 10 metre mark in the last 2 minutes for Silverstream, as they're looking to try and open up the St. Bernard's defence. But at the moment, St. Bernard's defence is hanging on strong. 20 points to 7. Scores from round 3 action on Wednesday. St. Pat's Town beat Wellington College 39 points to 19. Over in the Wairarapa, Wairarapa College have beaten Aotea 31-19. And Rongatide Scots and Mana and Tawa College are the other fixtures on this Saturday. St. Bernard's scrum. Northern end of St. Bernard's College number 1. On the 10 metre mark. Rangawhetu to feed. Solid platform. Little in the back line. He marches forward. Tangawai Scott helping there to protect the ball. It's a low pass by Rangawhetu out to Tuita. Tuita manages to tidy the pull up. So Lakai comes through, disrupting the ball. And it's been knocked on by Silverstream. By St. Bernard, sorry. And so Silverstream have the ball. Errors again hurting St. Bernard's chances at the breakdown. Higgins exploits a gap there. Ball enters the 22. And so it'll be a St. Bernard's line out, 5 metres out of their own try line. So yet again, Higgins finding the space. And St. Bernard's put back under pressure, having to defend a line out inside their own half. Precious stakes indeed. 20 points to 7. Pio to throw. Look for that target again. There's TK Waiona. Good take. Kelly Tangawai Scott midfield. He charges forward. Option to clear wasn't there. And it's been patient. Silverstream defence on attack. Rangawhetu box kicks. Straight down the throw to Clark. Clark gives it out to Vulu. Kobe Joe Vulu. He started the second half very well. And the ball goes out to Dexter. Dexter met by Laban. 10 metres out from St. Bernard's try line. And the ball's been knocked on by 4, Marco Venter. So an unfortunate mistake there for Silverstream. And a real perfect opportunity to strike again. Lashakan Lolo kicks the ball into touch. And so it'll be a Silverstream line out, 10 metres from St. Bernard's 22. As the southerly winds are picked up here. It's getting quite chilly at the moment. Now cameraman suffering from a bit of malnutrition. So he's feeling the cold as well. Laban tries to get round Junior Polu. He's been brought to ground. Rangawhetu over the top, but the ball's been stolen by Silverstream, so that time the over the top pass was not going to work. Play flirting with the touchline. Silverstream bundle into touch. And so it'll be a St. Bernard's line out, pretty much on their 10 metre mark. And time off here as some substitutions are being made. Coming on in jersey 21 is Lockie Forbes. The Forbes family, a number of the brothers have all gone through Silverstream. Like himself, can also play fullback and also the midfield. Today looks like he'll be playing in that midfield position. It's Rangawhetu box kicks again, but it's not the flashiest box kick at all. And so pretty much it'll be a Silverstream line out pretty much right from where the kick happened. No gain in advantage there, so an uncharacteristic mistake by Tanga Rangawhetu, who's been playing very well in this fixture today. Regan Mallon with the ball. He throws. Salvo stretches over but can't get it. It's been picked up by Rossiter Stead. Wrigley. Out to Forbes. Forbes brought down midfield. Silverstream looking to be patient. Higgins. Higgins again. Nonu Tui holding on. He's been brought to ground. Salvo there in support. It's a penalty against St. Bernard's. As Higgins looks to rack up Waiona. But the patience of Waiona doesn't respond to that. And so Silverstream call for the scrum here. Of course, in the first half they scored a pretty impressive try at the back of one of their scrums. That sent in Lea Masia over into the corner for Silverstream's second try. $20 points to 7 here at St Bernard's College. Silverstream in the lead. Silverstream scrum. Solid by St Bernard's. Larkai off the back. He offloads it to Higgins, and Little there with the good tackle puts him on the ground. And the ball's gone loose. It's been knocked on by Silverstream, so St Bernard's have the ball back. Mellon looks to go through, but Little shows him who's boss. When you're on my patch, I'll show you who's boss. So referee Roach is having a word to John O'Little. That wasn't the most logical decision, he'll be saying. So St Bernard's will still have the ball. They will have the scrum. Centre field, just outside their own 22. Field conditions at St Bernard's today are pretty good. History of this field is well known for not holding up during the winter months, but we've had a good almost 2-week period here in Wellington without any rain. So this has allowed the field to stay dry. Pretty much any drainage work you do on this field here at St Bernard's doesn't really work, being old riverbed and swamp, and so it tends to chew up pretty quickly. But this season the fields at St Bernard's have held up very well. Referee Roach has put in a sterling performance today, and our game is in desperate need of referees. In Wellington alone, there's only about 80 old registered referees this year. Mainly they have about 140. Due to all the events of the year, you can understand why. Underway, Laban off the back, and that's a good tackle by his opposite number, Larkai. Larkai has been pretty impressive in this game today. Good on defence, good on attack. Good charging runs. Tuia. Salvo tries to tackle him, but he's been fronted off, and Larkai's there in support, but the ball's been knocked on. David Wheeler, he's on time with that tackle. David Wheeler in the 17 jersey on the field. David Wheeler in his second season with the first 15. There's Marco Venter's day is done. And well, actually Sam Morgan's on the field, so it was a bit of a change from the program of Silverstream. So there must have been a late tactical change. We thought Morgan had been on the field, but he wasn't. So Morgan moves to the flank. Obviously Rossiter Stead still on the field in the 18 jersey. As the wind picks up here in our makeshift scaffolding commentary box. It's a credit to the members of the first 15 that came down early today to watch the under-15s play, and they helped set up the commentary box. They knew more about scaffold construction than their teacher. Clark, halfback, back to his normal position. Forbes in the first 5 jersey. Gives it out to Higgins. Higgins brushes off Callum Coyne. Laban's there to tidy up. As the skies darken here at St Bernard's College. Roster Stead marching forward, but he's been held up. Good work by Coyne. There's a penalty against St Bernard's for not releasing. The quick tap. Salvo takes it quickly, but unfortunately he's knocked it on and he's not happy with himself. And so St Bernard's have the scrum. Pretty much on their 20, right on their 22. It's a good crowd has turned out for this first 15 match today. It's been talk of the town at St Bernard's College this week. It's first 15 started the season off very well. Pre-season they beat Palmerston North second 15. Next week they have Hatupolda, followed by Wellington College at Wellington College, and there'll be another game St Bernard's will be trying to look to get the W at. At the moment they're trailing here 20 points to 7. Still not out of it yet, but if they make any more mistakes they'll make their afternoon even harder. Rosterstead gives it off to Vulu. Vulu met in a good tackle. St Bernard's defence has really improved in the second half. And the pass from Forbes to Hario was forward. And so St Bernard's have a scrum. 5 metres inside Silverstream's half. They haven't been down Silverstream's half much this second half. They've put in a lot of defence. And those results are starting to pay off. Today we'll be broadcasting St Bernard's versus Hatupolda College. Wednesday at 1:15 here at St Bernard's. Laban juggling the ball, manages to get it off to Zach Tuita, and he manages to juggle it and be brought to ground. And Silverstream slipping a turnover here, and they have achieved that, and the ball's come loose. So excellent work by Silverstream, making a menace at the breakdown. But Tuita strikes back after making the earlier error. But Salvo charges it down. And here's an opportunity for Silverstream. Larkai kicks forward. Lars Shakad at fullback. Larkai over the top. He hasn't released the ball. But Silverstream have knocked the ball on. They had a perfect opportunity to steal the ball there. And unfortunately, they've knocked it on, so it'll be a scrum. For St Bernard's, 5 metres from their own try line. Well, yes, some of our vocab at St Bernard's needs improving, but most of the time they're pretty good men. Stay tuned this week, as well as bringing you the Hatupolda game on Wednesday. There will be an episode of the Huddy Hui on Huddy Sports, so tune in for that. It's a free kick against Silverstream at the scrum. Unstable platform. Little gets us underway quickly. He offloads it, but probably wasn't the greatest idea, as Coyne wasn't up there to get the ball. And so an opportunity there for St Bernard's has gone begging. And so it'll be a line out for Silverstream. 5 metres inside St Bernard's 22. Regan Mellon to throw the ball in. Mellon throws. Saville disrupts the ball. Clark gives it out to Forbes. Forbes gets round Little. But he's being brought down by 18 Sam Mahey. Sam Mahey on the field. He's just returned from a shoulder injury. Forbes. Jorgen Holmes Rogers hangs on for dear life, but they can't hang on to him. He's a hard man to bring down, is Riley Forbes. Riley Higgins, I mean. Larkai. Larkai driven back in a good tackle, but he manages to offload it. That was John O'Little again. The defence of John O'Little is paying off. Silverstream still keeping patient with the ball at hand. They're 2 metres away from the try line. Rosterstead gives it out to Higgins, but Higgins knocks the ball on. So excellence in defence yet again. Jorgen Holm-Rogers heavily involved there. Bit of off the field play there by John Olitto as the Silverstream player hit the deck. But play continues. 20 points to 7. Silverstream ahead. There's been no score in the second half. But the defensive work of St Bernard's has improved remarkably in this second half. Rosterstead wins the line out. Clark out to Larkai. Forbes. Forbes has made an impact since he's been on and playing in the first 5 position. Larkai. Quick run off the back of the breakdown. Clark with the ball. It's a low pass. It bounces off the foot of Jonah Bartley, who's on the field. So Silverstream making a lot of mistakes here at the moment. Lots of knock-ons. And so it'll be a St Bernard scrum. Centre field just outside their own 22. So lots of rugby on this Saturday. There's also club rugby on. It's round 8 of the Swindale Shield and club rugby in Wellington. One big game on today. Marist St Pat's are playing Huddle Boys Marist at the Hut Rec. And Huddle Boys are winning that fixture at the moment, 17 points to 10. Both those clubs are heavily linked in with St Bernard's and also St Pat's Silverstream. As Higgins is penalised there for hands in the ruck. And so St Bernard's will have another penalty kick. Really hasn't been a lot of flow in this second half. And unfortunately the ball has not found touch. And so Clark has the ball and he'll give it out to Lockie Forbes, jersey 21. Forbes out to his winger Dexter. Dexter manages to get round 1, but unfortunately the pass was forward. Referee Roach in line with the ball. And so Silverstream will have to defend another St Bernard scrum. Now referee Roach today is wearing a black armband because early in the week a young referee in the Waikato, James Houghton, was tragically killed in a motorcycling accident. Sad loss for the Waikato rugby referees community and for James's family. James refereed down here in Wellington for a weekend 2 years ago. Had the pleasure of beating the young man, and what a fine gentleman he was. He had a very promising refereeing career ahead of him. So thoughts and prayers go out to the Houghton family as play gets back underway as Kelly Tangawai Scott drives up centre field. Weighs almost 130 kg. Nonu Tuia. He's been a workhorse in defence in the second half. But unfortunately the ball has come loose there, and Emmanuel Solomona with the excellent turnover. Robert Rosterstead gives it out to Higgins. Kobijo Fulu on the touchline. The linesman was going to put his flag up, but he put it down. He's getting a bit of grief from his fellow students. Silverstream on attack. Clark tries to get round Mayhe. Mayhe brings him down. Mitch Salvo down and back play. He's not looking too good. Might be a bit of cramp. But St Bernard's have been penalised for being offside. Now there's the act of good sportsmanship. The St Bernard's assistant coach has come on the field to aid the Silverstream player who's suffering nasty cramp, Mr Hayden Moritz. So good sportsmanship being shown there. Look, can Silverstream do now with this opportunity again? They were down here only about 5 minutes ago with a line out. Unfortunately, they knocked the ball on. And so they have a perfect opportunity now to add some points onto the scoreboard. Scored of the second half. It's 20 points to 7. But remarkably, the turnaround has been the defence for St Bernard's. They've been better in that facet of the game. Just have a look at some other live scores from around club and school rugby. Huddle Boys Marist against Marist St Pat, 17 points to 10. Oriental Rongotai beating Padiki, 12 points to 8. Tawa beating Johnsonville, 31-0. And Betonia beating Wellington, 21 points to 0. And of course, in earlier fixtures in the Transit First 15 competition, St Pat's Town beat Wellington College on Wednesday, 39 points to 19. And Wairarapa have beaten Aotea, 31-19 earlier today. As players back underway, substitution has been made for Salville. Jersey 20 has come onto the field. That is Esefo Masoe. Mallon with the ball. Throws to Rossiter Stead. He's been a safe option for Silverstream. They get them all underway. But referee Roach not having it. Accidental offside has been the call, and so it's a St Bernard scrum. Right on the 15-metre mark, inside their own 22. That's an area where Silverstream wouldn't be happy about their game at the moment, as they definitely have got the dominant forward pack. But unfortunately, they're making lots of errors there, particularly sitting up their maul. Could have been lucky they weren't penalised for truck trailer then. And always is high up. Tries for a leaving kick, but St Bernard's have been penalised being in front of the kicker. Unnecessary mistake. So the offside penalty, 2 metres inside St Bernard's, is 22. Silverstream with another line out. Same position as before. They'll be looking to try and make the points count, unlike before where they had issues with the structure of their maul. Mellon to throw. Rossiter Stead. His teammates couldn't bring him down, unfortunately. No. Referee Roach has penalised St Bernard's for illegally pulling him down in the air, so a bit of active dangerous play. They're a metre out for the try line. Silverstream sniffing blood, they've scored! Celebrations all for Silverstream. Appears to have been number 17, Jonah Bartley scoring the try. And so the score now is 25 points to 7. Yes, God's not going to help you today, folks. Conversion attempt by Higgins, who took over the kicking duties midway through the first half. TJ Clark's radar was not working too well. And so, Riley Higgins. No conversions have been successful today for Silverstream. They've scored the 5 tries, not converted one. Fortunately, the ball was rolled off the kicking tee. Little appeals that has been unrewarded by referee Roach, and so the conversion, lucky number 5, has been converted, and so 27 points to 5, or 27 points to 7 I mean, Silverstream ahead of St Bernard's in this round 3 fixture. Silverstream heading towards relatively an important win here. A win today would put them up to first on the table, depending on the Scots result against Rongotai. St Bernard's would probably sit around 4th or 5th on the table, so still in a pretty healthy position. Silverstream getting the ball, Lakai out there, gives it out to Higgins. Higgins again, he's been trying to be dragged down by Dom Unis. Dom Unis can't hold on, and Higgins sails in for his second try, the 6th of the match for Silverstream. So unfortunately, Ernest there could not hang on to the dancing feet of Riley Higgins. So the score now is 32 points to 7. Shut the gates, folks. St Bernard's Day is not going to end well, but they've put up a good fight for most of the second half. 32 points to 7 with the kick to come. Higgins again with the kicking duties. Officiating today has been very good. Referee Roach has kept the match under good control. He's been very firm on his decisions. Always in need of referees. 0800 referee is the number you can call. You always need a man in the middle. Higgins, patience in line, strikes the ball. Unfortunately, the ball sails to the right-hand side of the post. Only a matter of minutes left in the second half. St Bernard's can be pretty proud of their second half efforts until those last 2 tries. Their defence improved remarkably from the first half, but unfortunately there again they've made another mistake as the ball was kicked directly into touch from the restart, and so Silverstream will have a scrum centre field. Scrums have been pretty stable today. Silverstream and St Bernard's both had the measure of each other at times. Thurston in the jersey 20 on his reserve halfback. Silverstream have the ball. Higgins offloads it to Forbes. Rossestead with the high catch in the air. He's brought to ground by John O'Little. Clark out to Lakai. Advantage being played. Offside is the advantage. Clark to Forbes. Out to Polu. Polu tries to brush off Tangawai Scott. He gets past him. He brushes off jersey 22 Aleki Manuele. Silverstream still in position. Mayhe brushed off by Rossestead. Centre field inside the 22. And it's a good charge run by Jonah Bartley. He celebrates before the line and scores. Jonah Bartley scores. The defence for St Bernard's is slipping off. 38 points to 7. Unfortunately, it's not ending so well for St Bernard's here in this round 3 fixture. So they won't be happy there, the coaching staff of Kent Harris and Hayden Moritz, with the last few minutes here of this first 15 match. Silverstream with the conversion to come. 41 points to 7 now. Scoreboard getting a bit ugly for St Bernard's. They know they can be better than that. Silverstream with a number of players out, Tony Solomona and Luke Wormsley and Toby Crosby due to suspension. Looked a little bit light on paper today, but the players that have come on into the team for this round fixture match have done very well. And coach Tim Mannix will be pretty pleased with his team's performance. Tim Mannix in his 5th year coaching the Silverstream First 15. He's won 2 premiership titles. He's won 2 Grand Slams. Grand Slam is when every traditional has been won. And Silverstream have 6 of those. TK Wone off the ball. Wins the line out. Thurston out to Little. Little playing in the back line. But excellent defence by Silverstream. They drive him back. A penalty against Silverstream for hands. But Little with a tip. Quick go and tap. And he makes a few metres inside the 22. St Bernard's, can they get some points on the board here to finish off with a bit of confidence? Mayhe been held up. Ball comes out. Jorgen Rogers out to Lolo. Lolo met in a good tackle by Sam Morgan. Thurston at the back. He only weighs 54 kgs, Dom Thurston. But according to his coach, he's one of the best tacklers on the team. Another penalty against Silverstream, this time for no clear release. Little will kick for touch here. Not much time left on the clock. They want to finish off with a try to lift their spirits. Speak about the reserve halfback Dom Thurston. He can also play fullback and wing, but in Team 3 last year, he's actually half Chilean, and he went back to Chile for a few weeks to educate some students over there. Bernards win the line out. Ball comes off the back. P.O. with the ball. It's a messy play by St Bernard's, but they still control the pill. Silverstream may have got the turnover here. Referee Roach is playing advantage. And it's a penalty for hands at the breakdown, so St Bernard's guilty there. Silverstream take it quickly. Higgins with the ball. Gives it out to Polu. Polu brushes off 1, he brushes off 2, he brushes off 3. Tuita brings him down. Centre field, 12 metres away from halfway. Bartley. Bartley with 2 tries in this fixture since coming onto the field. Clark. He's had a good game, having switched between halfback and first 5. Started the game first 5. Forbes with the Bowden Barrett cross kick. He finds options, but Higgins couldn't get it. But the ball has managed to be picked up by Morgan. Ball's been flicked back by Leia Masia. Referee Roach looks at his watch, and that is full time. Full time here at St Bernard's College. 39 points to 7. Silverstream, 3 wins in the Transit Coach Lions First 15 competition. 3 important wins. There's no semi-finals this year, So the top two teams go straight to the final. St Bernard's, it's their first loss of the season. They'll be disappointed with the last few minutes of that second half, but they put up a courageous fight for most of the second half, having been down 20 points to 7 at half time. But they will be proud of their fight today. They were gutsy, and they put on some good hits. But end of the day, Silverstream take home the spoils. 39 points to 7. This has been a Sideline Net broadcast in partnership with Huddy Sports. I'm Brad Hudson. Thank you for watching.